Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. I have been on a short break. Many of you already know why, and I'll get back to that here in just a minute, but we've got some new Gunpla to talk about. So Bandai is going to have their official announcement event of the new hobby item info next week, but a lot of the announcements are already out, and although we'll probably get some more information next week, I think basically we kind of know what to expect based on what's already been announced here online, so we'll get into all of that here in a minute. Just a couple of things that I want to let you guys know about first before we get into that. So first point of news is that I will be at Las Vegas next weekend for the Bandai Card Games Fest there. I'm still waiting to get kind of all the details as to what exactly I'm going to be doing there at the event, but I will be at the event with Bandai, and it should be a lot of fun, but there'll be more information on that to come. But if you guys are planning on attending, or if you want to attend there, I look forward to seeing you guys there. Also, the Gunpla workshop that I was supposed to be doing here at USA Gundam Store for ahead of build day in January, that was postponed to February. It was tentatively postponed to February 21st, but build day this month is going to be on February 28th, and so the Gunpla workshop is going to be on that day as well, February 28th, Saturday. Again, if this is something you guys are just hearing about for the first time, check it out. I'll have more information down below, the link to that if you want to check it out. It is going to be a live in-person workshop class that I'm going to be doing here at USA Gundam Store on Saturday the 28th, which does also happen to be my birthday. But yes, other point of news, I was on break. So yeah, doing this hobby is my passion, and I really enjoy it, of course. I don't think that this is something, making models and doing it all on YouTube and sharing it with you guys is something that I could have done for as long and as hard as I've done it now, without it being something that's I'm really passionate about. But of course, it is also my job, and like with any job, there's days when you're tired, or you're worn out, you have other stuff going on in your life that you're just kind of not really feeling it. You're just kind of wondering, what is it all for? Those kind of days. And honestly, it's the love and support from you guys that I receive in those times that just does really help keep me going. It's a big part of the reason why, I'm able to keep doing what I'm doing. I mean, I love doing what I'm doing. And it's not that I, need adulation from others, but it's more so just a reminder that, what I'm doing matters to people, and that people enjoy the work that I do. And so that does mean a lot to me. And so many of you reminded me of that this past week, as I got just a lot of comments and messages from you guys sharing your condolences, because unfortunately, yes, my father did pass away last week. And so I was at home there to be with him and to be with my mom. And so, it's a difficult time for me, for all my family, and so I really appreciate all of the support, all the nice messages that I heard from a lot of you guys, so thank you all so much for that. And so, of course, it's going to be, a hard time kind of like coming to terms with the loss, and as I heard from a lot of you guys, a lot of you have been through similar circumstances, so I'm just thankful for all of you for your continued support. And I know that he was a big supporter of mine, of course, as well, a great father, and I know he was also thankful for all of you guys as well for allowing me to do what I really love doing. So just thank you all so much for that. But that's the news I wanted to get through at the start. Now let's talk about the new hobby news from Bandai. And first of all, the biggest thing that we really don't have much on yet, but I'm assuming we will get more information and more images of this probably next week. So look out for that. But the MGSD Kshatriya, of course, was announced. This is going to be coming out in September for 7,000 yen. It looks awesome, just what little we can see of it so far, but I think that the Kshatriya proportions scale really well to the proportions of MGSD. I've said the same thing when it comes to like the Converge style figures, or just anything that's like sort of an SD version of the Kshatriya. I think it scales really nicely, just kind of the design of it anyway. So that looks really cool. I'm really excited for that. As you guys know, I'm a big fan of the MGSD line. I'm just always impressed building those kits. They're really, really nice. If you guys have not checked them out, of course, I'm going to recommend you to check out the line if you haven't yet. But the other really cool thing about this is that this is the first kit in the line so far, although it hasn't had very many releases so far. It's a fairly new line, but this is the first one from Universal Century. So before the announcement of the Kshatriya, we didn't really know if there was going to be anything from UC in the MGSD line, or if they were only going to keep it for alternative universes. And so now that we know that it is going to be open to UC as well, that means that, probably in the future, we'll probably see an MGSD Unicorn, I think is a safe bet. Something like the RX-78-2, I would like to see, and kind of really anything else. Maybe MGSD Zeta is another very likely option, something like that. So in the future, I'm guessing that probably this line will probably go back and forth between UC and alternative universe releases, but it will be something that I'll be looking forward to seeing more of in the future. Anyway, Next up, HG stuff. We had the announcement of the HG Gundam Leopard coming out in August for 2,200 yen. Now this is a long time coming because we did have the Leopard Da Vinci that came out in the HG Build Fighters line years and years ago, and we all kind of expected that they would then make a proper Gundam Leopard from Gundam X. And then also, just because this year is the anniversary of Gundam X, we're getting the Figureize Standard Tifa Adil kit. And then I wasn't assuming, but I was hoping that we were going to get something new from Gundam X. And so we are getting the Gundam Leopard. I'm looking forward to that. I'm still, hoping and thinking that it would be really cool to see something like an RG Gundam X. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but I would like to see something else, on top of the Leopard would be great, but if it's only ending up being the Leopard, that's really cool. Probably there will be a P Bandai Gundam Leopard D, a Leopard Destroy variation of this. I think that's probably safe to assume, and safe to assume that it's going to be P Bandai, but time will tell. Maybe it won't be. That would be awesome. But that is the pattern that Bandai followed for the Airmaster. So the Airmaster was a standard release, which I think hasn't been reprinted in a long time. But then the Airmaster Burst was a P Bandai release. So probably going to follow that same trend. But it is cool to see, too, that this looks like it's going to be a completely new mold from the Leopard Da Vinci. I was looking at the two side by side, and you can kind of see that there's definitely some parts that look similar, like the front skirts, for an example. But even those, they do look slightly different enough that it looks like it's going to be a completely new mold for this. Even the joints, I would assume, and everything else. So that should be really nice. Really looking forward to that. In Seed news, the HG Heine Westenflus's version of the Goof Ignited is going to be coming out in July for 2,600 yen. I'm really looking forward to this one as well. I'm a really big fan of the Seed version of like the Xeon mobile suits, like the Zaku Phantom and all those, and the Goof Ignited series as well. Now I have to say, Heine's color version is not necessarily my favorite personally color version of the Goof Ignited. Of course, we'll probably see variations of this out later. Again, probably will be P Bandai. Otherwise, of course, you can just repaint it, and that's probably what I'll opt to do if I get the opportunity to repaint the kits. So yeah, the Goof Ignited looks really awesome. I'm looking forward to that. I think that'll be a really nice new kit from Seed. It's nice to see kind of new versions of some of these Seed kits that, are older in this series, so that'll be awesome. And then we got some new announcements from the next Hathaway movie here, and the big one, of course, is going to be the HG Elysius. This one's coming out in April for 12,000 yen, so it's going to be well over $100 for this one. It's going to be a big kit, but as you can see, it's basically kind of like two kits in one. We have the mass production new Gundam, which is inside all this extra armor and stuff that goes on the outside of it, so it's going to be a ton of parts. It's going to be a very large kit in there. At first glance, seeing the artwork of this design, I thought like, well, that's certainly very unique, but then like seeing it in actual kit form, I think it does look really cool. Obviously the color scheme is pretty plain just as it is, but I think it'll be really interesting to see once this kit comes out, what people start painting it in like custom color schemes and stuff. I'm sure there's plenty of folks out there that are already kind of brainstorming or even like making sketches, thinking of like what's going to be their custom color scheme for this, because I think it's going to be one that's going to look really cool in some different color variations, and so I'm looking forward to seeing what people do with that. But I'm just looking forward to the kit in general. I think it looks awesome. It's very unique with the mass production new Gundam kind of hidden inside all that other stuff in there. I think it'll be really awesome. So looking forward to that. And then we've got a couple new versions of the Kasi and the Messer. The Kasi Gundam is the Sorcery of Nymph Circe version that's going to be coming out in April for 7,000 yen. Mostly the same kit as the HG Kasi Gundam, but we have new parts for the face to give it a more traditional kind of Gundam face there, and then also the new part for the damaged shield. Also, the beam rifle looks a little bit different. I think the beam rifle is slightly different for that as well, but otherwise going to be the same. So I mean, if you already have the kit, if you're a really big fan, you might want to get that. If you did not pick up the Kasi Gundam before, it might be a good chance to get this one. It's kind of a little bit more unique, different version of it with the damaged shield. It's pretty cool. So that will be coming out, and then the HGUC Messer M01 type is going to be coming out in May for 3,400 yen. This one does also just feature quite a lot of new parts there actually for this one. Like at a glance, of course, it looks very similar to the HGUC Messer that we had before, but it's another one that kind of, if you look closely, there's a lot of different parts to this one. So as a lot of you may know, I did really enjoy making a custom build of the first HG Messer kit, so it would be cool to make another custom build out of the new M01 type that we're going to be getting. So looking forward to that release because I do really like the Messer design generally, and so I'm looking forward to, you know, kind of getting that in hand and working with it and seeing what I come up with to maybe make a cool custom out of that. So that one would be really awesome as well. Lastly, we did also get an announcement of a premium Bandai HG Gundam Barbatos Adapt. It's going to be coming out in May for 2,200 yen. This version of the HG Barbatos does look really cool. It's quite unique. Got some different weapons, some different equipment and everything on it. A lot of new parts there, looking like it's going to be mostly an entirely new kit. Probably reusing some parts of the frame and maybe not a whole lot much else other than that. But unfortunately, it does look like it is still carrying over a lot of the issues of the HG Iron Blood Orphans line generally, and that there's a lot of seam lines on there that looks like you can see already just from like the sample images, and then probably going to be pretty sticker heavy as well. Some of the known kind of common issues of the line, but still, I mean, the HG Iron Blood Orphans line is really nice, and a lot of people do enjoy it, so I imagine this will be a pretty sought after kit for the many Barbatos fans that are out there. But we're getting quite the influx of a lot of different Barbatos kits lately, whether they be Bandai or different iterations of the Barbatos that are coming out from third-party companies that are making different their own kind of interpretations of the design in various scales and designs. So a lot of Barbatos stuff coming out as of late. But all of this stuff and more, all the different Barbatos kits that I'm mentioning about and everything else, of course, is all available for either pre-order if it's anything that's out now. But all these new announcements are available for pre-order and more there on the website, usags.com. The link is, of course, down there in the video description below, so check that out if you guys are interested in pre-ordering any of this stuff before release. But that's it for the new announcements for now. Like I said, I'm sure we'll get some more images of some of these next week that we can take a look at. But for now, I'm excited for all this stuff. So I think this was a really great drop. Pretty much everything in here are releases that I'm really looking forward to personally. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Which one are you most looking forward to? I'm sure a lot of you guys are excited about the Kshatriya. That said, I'm sure a lot of you would have liked if it was a proper, you know, full-size MG. But, you know, maybe that's still yet to come at some point in the future. We'll have to see, but for now, that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.